my whole purpose, my philosophy and my pedagogical background for the Bubbles curriculum, which I have initiated and started. I've been in this field of education for the past 30 years now, and for almost 23 years I've been heading schools. And I've worked for very long with the research-based project of preschool curriculum, which we found very exciting and exhilarating in our whole process of implementation, learning and implementation of the same. So while we were doing this, we understood the nuances of preschool teaching, and we found that preschool teaching is actually the education one gets for the entire lifetime, because the habits and the values that children get at this age remains with them throughout their life. And with this background in mind, I would like to tell you all how I started the Bubbles curriculum. So after my stint in a particular school where I worked for 13 years as a head of the school, I had worked for 9 years on this research-based project of preschool education. Of course, teachers were implementing, but the facilitation was done by me in this entire sequence of what had to be done. It was based on high scope methodology, which was basically based in the United States of America, and it involved children actively in the learning process, and therefore it was called the active learning. So with this background, we found that the learning outcomes of children were marvelous. They could communicate beautifully. Their skills in terms of fine motor, gross motor, eye-hand coordination, visual discrimination, auditory discrimination were excellent, and we could see the change in the children. And therefore, when I left the organization and I came out, I just felt that this kind of a preschool curriculum and preschool processes should reach the nook and corner of the country and the world, because I believed in this system, and I feel that the children will be able to learn more purposefully and meaningfully using this kind of a curriculum. So with this whole perspective, the Bubbles curriculum had started, and the Bubbles curriculum is written and designed mostly by me and my associates, my friends and my colleagues and others who had worked with me in this process. And we therefore decided to do something for the children world over. And this curriculum, while we were framing it, we found it very exciting, because we were writing down the processes one after the other. So the entire curriculum is themed, and the themes are same for nursery, lower kindergarten and the upper kindergarten. But the difficulty level of what will be taught at each level has spiraled in such a way that what they are learning in preschool will be in nursery, they will be a little higher in lower kindergarten and much more higher in the upper kindergarten. So the heart of the curriculum is based on a particular process, the work time. And the work time is what actually, gives the child an edge and gives the curriculum also an edge over the other curriculum. Here the child is given on a daily basis an opportunity to choose a particular area of his or her choice, go there, work, and construct a meaning for whatever they have done, come back and recall what they have done. So the entire process is based on a plan, do, review, cycle. And for a preschool child to get into the mode of doing this is something absolutely creditable, and where the child learns communication, learns to make the right choices, learns to apply what he or she has learned to the daily life. And these are important processes we feel are essential for a child in his life as a. Now when we come back to the curriculum and what actually is specified in it. Now, basically there is a broad curriculum framework which is given, which consists of what one does in language and what we do in number work, what we do in theme science, and what kind of skills we develop in children. The broad curriculum framework. This is our broad curriculum framework, which consists of curriculum for nursery, lower kindergarten and upper kindergarten. So here you will find that the monthly theme is given with how it is integrated with various activities related to what has to be done in the month. And then we have in this the daily schedule consisting of what we will do on a daily basis, and then we have the curriculum for nursery, what is the theme and what goes as a part of the theme, then what do we do in language, what we do in number work, what kind of color shape we are taking, what kind of pre-math concepts we are developing in children, and so on. And this again is divided into the month-wise. So every month, what do we develop in language? What do we develop in number work? In theme science? Then what kind of skills we develop in children? What kind of field trip you should take up? What are the broad rhymes that you should be doing with the children? What is the story that you take up? And what kind of informal conversation you need to have? Now this again is translated into a day-wise curriculum which we have here with us, and in the day-wise curriculum there is further specification of what needs to be done on a minute-to-minute basis. So for any newcomer to the teaching field of preschool, or for a person who is not so well versed with English language, they can transact this curriculum beautifully in the classroom. That's one of the reasons why we have brought about this kind of a curriculum for the playgroup children. Our main purpose is to give a good quality preschool education to the children all over the country, and also to develop in them the required communication skills which will give them an edge for admissions into the best of schools. And in addition to all this, the values and the skills and the habits which they form at this particular age remains with them throughout their life. So these are a few things that we have as a part of our Bubbles curriculum. We also have some very interesting activities listed out, and this is the book that we gave for our nursery children, where we have the rhymes, and then we have the concepts, we have number work. These are a little bit of practice sheets which are given to the children, which they use on a regular basis. But the writing is something that is not necessarily the only thing that preschool children will be doing when they are using the bubbles curriculum, because writing is one part of it only, and it's a very small part of their learning. Children need to develop their communication skills, their eye-hand coordination, their visual discrimination, their fine motor skills, gross motor skills. They should become healthy socially, emotionally, and they should be able to ask questions, express their likes and dislikes. This is what we take up basically as as what a child needs to learn in preschool in our bubbles curriculum. And in addition to all this, we also have a number of other activities which are listed out in the day-wise curriculum. And once the child actually, kind of gets into the groove, the activities get, strengthened, and there are more and more things that the child wants. We have sight words given to them. We have children's ability to classify, to sort, to know the sense of time, to know the sense of seriation, to sequence stories, to be able to tell stories, to be able to talk about different conclusions for a story than what is already given in the traditional stories which we have. So this basically is what we have as part of our bubbles curriculum, and my own basic philosophy of education, I always say, is summed up in 3 words. That is my passion for children and their learning, my own philosophy of pedagogy, and my purpose in life is to ensure that through this curriculum, through my own interventions, through giving a good quality preschool process, to bring about a generational impact in the lives of children.